everyone, welcome back to the channel. This is the second time I have tried to film this tutorial. It's driving me nuts. My camera keeps playing up and all sorts. So I've kind of half started it and I'm just going to explain where we are. So what we're making is this pocket photo album. Now, I spent about 3 hours yesterday working out all the dimensions and all the measurements and things for this wee album. And it turns out it's a 4x4 album by an inch thick. It can hold up to 33 photos. The photos are 3 inch by 3 inch. And I done that because I was looking at my printer, and I worked out really the best size because you can print out 3x3s and 3x5s and things. So I thought this would be a nice size that we could put in our handbags or pockets. And the reason being, when I was at college the other day, somebody asked me to see photos of my grandson and I had to hand over my phone, and I thought it'd be nice if I had a wee album that I could hand over. So I came up with this. Excuse me. So what it is it opens up like this. Now I've put my magnet on here. If you have the small little round magnets, you could put it underneath your paper and hide them. This magnet strip isn't strong enough when it goes underneath the paper, so I've had to put it on top. You could use Velcro, you could create a wee card belly band, you could use elastic, you could use ribbon to close it, just whatever really takes your fancy. But in this case I've used a wee clasp because it's just nice, it's strong enough to go in my bag and keep it closed. So when you open it up, like I say, it can hold up to 33 photos. This one I've only decorated for 17 photos because I've only decorated it on the one side and I haven't decorated it on the other side. If you decorate it on both sides, you obviously will need 33 mats, and I'll give you the sizes for them. If you're only decorating it on one side, you will need 17 mats. And it opens out like this. Now I got the inspiration for this from my husband's credit card holder and his cards for his work and things, and it folds out like this. Now this comes all the way out like so. It's absolutely fab. I love it. I just think it is so cute. And I've used the Couture du Jour paper pack on this one by Dovecraft, and I used black card simply just because I thought, well, black card, it's going in my bag and things, it might get, you know, knocked about and things like that, but you can use any coloured card that you like. The black cardstock I used for this was 250 GSM. The one I'm going to use to show you is 300 GSM. Both work just as well. This still turned out really heavy. So like I said, your photos will be 3 inch by 3 inch. Now this doesn't have to be a photo album. You can make this into a little album for keeping like your ATCs in. You could make little pockets, or you could attach your ATCs with glue dots, or you could add maybe acetate pockets and put in some ephemera and stickers if you were gifting this to somebody. You could stamp it and just make it into a little album. All sorts. It'd make a lovely little album. So it's totally up to you what you use it for. I'm just making it today for a photo album. So how do we make it? It's really easy. Once I spent the time measuring and working it all out, it was really quite easy to put together. So what you need is 5 sheets of A4 cardstock. Now I've started this tutorial already, as I explained, so I've already started cutting mine down. What you need to do is you need to cut one of the A4 pieces of cardstock at 4 inches long ways. Okay, so this ways. You want one piece at 4 inches, and then you want the rest of the other 4 pieces A4 card. So you have 5 altogether. So one you're cutting at 4 inches, a slither off at 4 inches, and you're putting the other part aside because you don't need that. And then with the other 4 A4 pieces, you're going to cut them into 2 strips of 3 3/4. So when you cut them down, you will have 8 altogether. So this is from one A4 sheet, and you have a strip left off the side. So it is 3 3/4. That is what size you want to make these strips. And when you cut down your 4 A4 sheets, you will have 8. Obviously you get 2 off of each sheet. Now what we're going to do is put this, you've got these 8 pieces that are 3 3/4 wide. You have one piece that is 4 inches wide. You want to put the 4 inch piece aside just now. These 8 pieces, you're going to score them at 3 3/4 and 3 3/4. So every 3 3/4. So you're going to end up with, I don't know if you probably not picked that up on the camera actually. You're going to end up with 2 score lines on your card. So what I do, I'll quickly show you. To make it really easy on myself, because I'm not good at measuring and things, I just can't be bothered with it. I measure it at 3 3/4, and then instead of measuring another 3 3/4, I just put it back to the start and I do another 3 3/4. So I've got 2 score lines. So you end up with 3 panels, and each panel is 3 3/4, 3 3/4, and 3 3/4. Now you do that on all 8 pieces. I'm sorry I'm not showing you. Like I said, I'd already started recording it, and then my phone went funny. So I've got these pieces now. Now, put them aside, and your piece that is cut at 4 inches, you want to turn that on its side, and on your scoreboard, oops, this way, you want to score your first score line at 4 inches. So this is my card facing me. 4 inches, 5 inches, 9 inches, and 10 inches. So that's 4, 5, 9, and 10. And then all we do then is fold them over, burnish them so that they're nice and creased. Same at this end, burnish, and fold and burnish, and then when you put it together, you have this wee box. So it's really simple. It just folds all up, and it goes together like that. So you can see the basis of our album already. And then what we're going to do is put our mats onto this box. Now, you need 3 pieces for this. You need 3 pieces at 3.5 by 3.5. Now, I already explained I used the Couture de Jour for this one. For this one, I'm using the watercolour by Craft Sensations. So, you need 3 pieces of paper at 3.5 by 3.5. You want to put one. Now this is the front of our album, okay, with the flap that comes down. So you want to put one on the front flap, and then one on the back of that front flap, okay, like that. Now this is your front, that's your inside. Now the piece next to the inside, you don't put anything on that, because that's where we're going to mount our mechanism for our photos. But on the back of that piece, so on the back of the box, we put our third piece, okay. So front, back, and inside, but not on this piece. Then, we're almost caught up to where we were now. What we need next is 2 pieces of our coloured paper, whatever you've chosen, at 3.5 wide. So it's all going to be cut 3.5 wide, all the paper that we're doing is 3.5 wide. And we're doing it 1 inch deep. Okay, so 3.5 by 1 inch, and you want 2 of those. And then we need 4 pieces here, again just of the coloured paper. 4 pieces, and these are going to be 3.5 long by 3/4 of an inch. So if you're US and international, that's 3/4. So it's 3.5 by 3/4 of an inch, and you need 4 of those. Now we're going to stick those down next, and where we're going to stick these 2 are ones that are measured an inch, not the ones that measure 3/4 of an inch. We'll put the 4 pieces aside just now, and we'll take our 2 that measure an inch by 3.5. And these bits are for, if you put your box together, these are for the front flap, okay, that opens up. This is for the front flap. So we're just going to take our paper, and I'm using my wet glue. You can use double-sided tape or your tape runner or whatever takes your fancy. I always use wet glue, as you know, so I'm just popping that down here on the outside, and then I'm just turning that over, so it's still the top flap, but it's the inside of the top flap. And I'm just going to pop my other piece, my 3.5 by 1 inch, my second piece of that, and that is going on this inside piece here. So I'm just leaving a nice border, making it nice and central so that it all looks the same, all the width all the way around. Like, oops, I told you I get glue absolutely everywhere. It doesn't matter what project I'm doing, I always get glue on it. So anyway, so now we're going to take our 4 pieces that we've cut at 3.5 by 3/4 of an inch, and we're going to do, so if this is our box, okay, so this is our front, we're going to do the top piece, and we're going to do it on the front, and we're going to do it on the inside, and we're going to do our bottom piece, and we're going to do it on the top, and we're going to do it on the inside. So it's relatively simple. So really all the bits are going to have our pieces of paper on them, apart from our main piece in the inside here. We're not putting anything on that. So we'll quickly just pop these on, and I'll not pause it just now because it gives you time to get your pieces together as well. We're just putting this on and keeping it nice and straight. And the same with this piece. So like I say, this is a really easy album. I'm not the best at measuring the stuff, so it did take me a while to come up with the measurements and to design the album. I knew kind of what I wanted to design. Like I say, I'd seen my husband's credit card holder and I thought, yeah, that would be a fab idea. But translating that into measurements wasn't so easy. But anyway, I've got it done now, so I hope you like it. But like I say, you don't have to use this for photos. You can use it as an album, a kind of extended flip book if you like, or an ATC holder, anything really. It can be anything. This is just the bare bones of it. You can take it and you can change the measurements to your own measurements. You can design it a different way. You can just, you know, put your own spin on it. That's a great thing about crafting and us all sharing, that we can get some fab inspiration and ideas from everybody. So that is the outside done. So we have our front of our box, our top of our box, our bottom of our box, our back of our box, and the inside. Now we're going to get on to the mechanism. So we'll pop this aside just now. We're going to bring back in our 8 pieces and we're going to start folding them. So what I'm going to do now, this is really a bit of a hit or miss, because what I'll explain to you when you can't put it together. Sometimes you need to refold it mountain or valley depending on what we're doing. Now a mountain fold is a fold, right, I'll explain this actually first. A valley fold, so this is my card facing towards me and I'm folding it away from me. And I'm just making sure that it's lined up so that it's going to go straight. Take the glue off my fingers. And that is a valley fold because it's going into the valley. This one needs to go the opposite. So I folded that away from me. This one is going under. So this one is a mountain fold because you have your valley and you have your mountain. Okay, so it's kind of just like what do you call that, like an accordion, fold. So that is what we're going to end up with, and then we're just going to fold it all down. So we want to do this on all 8 pieces. Okay, so I just do them all the same way, and then when I'm putting the book together, if I need to fold it away from myself or towards myself, then I change it, but I will show you what I mean if I'm not making any sense. So just keep going through folding these mountain and valley, so away from you and then towards you. Okay, so I'm folding it away from me, just making sure it's lined up, and then the top one I'm folding it under towards me. Okay, I'll show you, and again away from me and under towards me, so it's not over towards me, it's under towards me. I can hear my neighbour, he's out scraping the snow off his path. My husband was out doing hours earlier. The weather here is horrible. So last one, away from me and under towards me. Okay, so that's just got our 8 pieces. Now what we need to do is start putting it together. So this is how I do it. In my left hand I take this piece. So the mountain fold is in my right hand. Okay, I'm going to lie that flat. Then I take my next piece. Now, let me have a wee think about this, just to double check that is correct. Every single piece we are going to put on like this, it's always going to be the valley and then the mountain. So we're going to connect the valley, if you like, onto the mountain here. So it's like the double, if you like, the double flap and the single. So the single always goes on here. So what I do is I lie it flat, okay, and then I just take my wet glue or whatever glue you're using, like I say, and I just put it all the way around. Oops. Put some more on there. And then I keep my mountain in my right hand in this single piece, and then I just line it up like so. So it's really easy. Once you get the hang of it, it's really simple. And I just give it a good old press to make sure that it all sticks together. And there you can see we have the start of our, it's like a zigzag. So again, we're going to lie this flat. We've got our mountain to the right, our peak, we've got our single flap, and we're just going to keep doing this with all 8 pieces until we get to the end. I'll just show you another couple of times and then I will pause it so that you don't have to continuously watch me doing this. So I just do that, and then I pick it up, squeeze it all together and make sure it's stuck down. Keep going like so, and again my mountain, my double to the right hand, and this flap going on here, and just to pick it up and give it a good stick down. So I'll continue doing that with the rest, and then I will come straight back. Okay, so I've stuck all 8 of them together, and then you'll see now that we have our mechanism for our photo album. So that was really quite easy to stick together, but I think you'll agree it looks really effective. I think it's really cool. I'm really pleased with how it's turned out, so let's put that together. Now, what we're going to do is bring back our cover that we made, and we're going to stick in our album. Now this is up to you the way you want it to go down. I want it that when I open my album, like this one, when I open my album, my flap comes up the way. Okay, now that means that when I'm looking at my photographs, I can just flip them down like that. Alright, if I want, I can just sit like that, or I can pull it right out. And the same way, if I have double-sided it, I can just sit and look at it like a wee book if I put my 33 photos in. Okay, I probably will go back and mat the back of this one as well and make it into the full album. Alright, so now what we need to do, if you want to have it coming the other way, like down the way, which is perfectly fine, it's totally up to yourself, but what I'm going to do is have it come in so that my flap opens that way. So this is my book facing me, and I have my top piece on my left and this large flap on my right. Blank middle piece is here in the middle and it's facing me. What I'm going to do is, if you notice on this accordion piece, one end has the triangle mountain piece and the other end has the flap, and that's how we've designed it. I came up with that so that this piece can be attached. Now, all I'm going to do is apply my wet glue to the back of here, all over, and I would suggest using wet glue for this bit, or really the red high tack, so that your photo album, when it's getting handled a lot, doesn't come apart. And then all I'm going to do is take my piece and I'm going to pop it down, and I'm just going to centre it up so that it's got a nice border round the edge. just because it looks prettier, I'm going to make sure that that closes over, which it does, and it's got plenty of space because I made sure when I measured it. And that's why I've got all these extra pieces lying about, because I done quite a few yesterday and I made quite a few mistakes when I was trying to figure out the measurements. So I know now that this fits perfectly. So just give it a really good squeeze down to make sure that it's stuck, and then you'll see that that is the basis of our album formed. So I'm going to close that up and pop that to the side just now and give it a chance to dry. And then what we need now is, like I said, if you want to do both sides, you're going to need 33 mats. Now these mats are going to be 3.5 inches by 3.5. If you just want to do one side, you're going to need 17. Now, let me see, I have picked this paper, so I'm going to, what I'll do is I'll just show you one, and then I will pause it and come back, because you don't want to see me sitting sticking and sticking and sticking, or this video would be like 10 hours long. So I'm going in with 3.5 by 3.5, and that way we have a 3.5 by 3.5 inch square. So if you want to put a 3 inch by 3 inch photograph on, it gives you a lovely border around the outside. So that is that one. I'm going to pop that to the side. Whoops. I'm going to come back to my album, and I'm just going to take my first page, take my wet glue. Wait a minute, I've got a wee piece on the top here, it's sticky. I'll just take that off, and then just keep going all the way round, round and round and round, like that. I'm going to pop this here, and it leaves a really nice wee border all the way around it, because that is the way I've designed it, so that you've got a nice mat all the way around it. And there is our first page. And then, like I said, you just go on and do your 17 or your 33 mats. So I will go and put these on, and I'll be straight back. Okay, so I've stuck down all my mats now. I'll just let you see. I've done all of my mats, and I think it looks so cute. When you put the paper in, it just sort of brings it alive. It's lovely. So, what I was thinking, I only done one side again on this, because what I was thinking is what you could do, if you wanted, for each photograph that you put on this side, you could do a bit of journaling on the back, and make it like a wee scrapbook, a wee miniature scrapbook. Or if you had a picture of you and you were somewhere, say you were at a concert or something, you could put the tickets on the back. Even make a wee pocket or a wee acetate pocket and put the tickets in the back, or bus tickets, or cinema tickets, or anything that, you know, just a wee souvenir of where you were. So you could just be like, right, okay, this is my picture, open it to the back, and you could have the you know, your wee reminder in the back. So I think that's a really cute idea. Okay, so quickly for decorating this one, I've got a bit of unicorn washi stuck up here that I got from Michelle Stratford when she sent me her entry for my 400 subby challenge. So I'm going to pop that across there. And I said in the video, you know, I never throw anything away. I always feel that I've got a use for it somewhere if I can. And she had parcelled up her parcel with this gorgeous unicorn washi, and I managed to save it, and now I'm using it. So thank you, Michelle, that came in really handy. See? And then I've got another piece of it here, and I'm just going to pop it on the bottom. I need to straighten this wee bit out because it's slightly squint. And I'm going to pop this, oh, I'll turn it round towards me so that I can see what I'm doing. I'm just going to pop that along the bottom here, like that, so that looks really cute. And you could put like your name of your album here, or another wee picture on the front. You could go all out actually and make it really, really pretty. I'm going to pop on a wee unicorn sticker, just on here on the front. Wait a minute to see what it closes about. I don't want to cover up my closure. That can go there. And then what I'm going to do is take a wee piece of this magnetic tape. Like I said, you can use anything you like to hold it closed. A glue dot. You can tie it closed with ribbon. You could have your ribbon round here, or you could make a belly band round here. Really anything you like. I just think the magnet here, and if, like I said before, if you are doing your wee circle magnets and you want to put it under your paper, just put it on first. So I'm just taking my magnet, and with this magnet strip, I got this from the range, and I always put on a wee bit of the red liner tape, the super sticky, just to make sure that it sticks, because I don't want it coming off. If you send it to anybody or you're showing it to anybody, you don't want it coming off. It just looks unprofessional. So what I'm going to do now is just pop on my wee magnets together like so, and then stick this one to the inside here. Just try and get it as straight as possible. Take the sticky off here, close this over just so that it finds its natural place, like that, and then open it up and stick this down, like so. And then I would go ahead and I would add on wee gems and some wee flowers and things like that onto this and decorate it up on the outside. But that is basically your album. So you can either pull it up like this. Let's do this. You can pull it all the way up. So you've got your gorgeous accordion like that, or you can have it and open it like this. I think it is just super cute, and it's easy to make and easy to use, and you can pop it in your bag and you can show everybody your album, and I think they're really nice to make. So I hope you like what I've designed and made. I'm sure you've maybe seen these before, maybe somebody else has thought of them, or a different size of them or whatever, but these are the ones that I came up with, and I hope you like them, and I hope it was easy to follow. If you've got any questions at all, leave it in the comments and I'll get back to you as soon as possible. If you like this video, please give me a wee thumbs up, and if you haven't subscribed, please do so, guys. It means a lot to me. And if you want to see more of me, hit that wee bell notification and you will see when I am on, and I will see you all again very soon. Thank you. Bye bye.